Today we're going to read a story out of the book, How the Present Came from the Past, and it's going to be the story of the chief gods of Egyptian mythology. This story is going to have to be told in multiple parts, so make sure that you follow me to get the second half of the story. Our story starts with Osiris, king of the gods. Osiris was supposed to come to Earth in the form of a man living among men in order to help them out. His father was the earth, his mother was heaven. Up to the time of his coming, affairs on the earth did not go well. There was a suffering, there was an unkindness. Indeed, troubles of all sorts came upon men. Someone was needed to teach the people. Someone was needed to make right the many wrongs. Osiris was the one that was sent to do this work. It was known at the time of his birth that he was to be the great helper of the race, so he was carefully trained from babyhood, but he needed a woman to help him in the great work of helping people to become less savage. The woman chosen to do this was his sister wife, Isis. Many plants grew upon the earth, and some of them were poisonous. So the divine pair began their work by teaching their pupils to choose which of these were good for food: the wheat, the barley, the vine. A wandering man saw Isis cutting the stalks of corn and binding them into sheaves. He saw her grinding the grain and kneading the flour to make bread. Thus he learned how to do those things. Osiris taught the Egyptians not to eat their fellow man, as had been their custom. He showed them how to find the metals that were hidden from the earth. Having done this, the next thing they needed to know was how to use these metals, so they learned to make implements for cultivating the land and weapons for slaying wild beasts. Then Osiris made laws for them and gave them Thebes of 100 gates for their capital. It is in this work of making laws, as well as spreading knowledge of all sorts among all of the people of Egypt, that we meet Thot. Thot is the god of letters and the arts and the ever-ready helper of Osiris. It was him indeed who invented speech and writing. Now Osiris was not satisfied with teaching his own people, so he left the government in the hands of his wife Isis for a time. He then traveled throughout the land with a large army of helpers. Wherever Osiris went, he taught the things necessary to live a better life. Thus he gained himself the name, the Good Being. Nevertheless, his homecoming proved most unhappy. His own brother Set, the spirit of evil, had plotted against him. While Osiris slept, Set carefully measured his body. He then had a chest made and richly ornamented, and it was just the right size to hold the Good Being. When this was completed, he sent out invitations to a great feast. The chest was brought into the banquet hall and was greatly admired by all of the guests. Come back for part 2 of the story.